Good morning, members and ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hasini Kasuriarachi, a diploma of here, and my abstract is in page number 2. So I did research about voluntary first aid practices in emergency and among three drivers in Sri Lanka. So these were my contents. And traumatic injuries are the most leading cause for hospitalizations in Sri Lanka, according to Annual Health Bulletin 2012. So, according to road traffic accident data for 2014, about 35.92% of deaths in H1, where it accounts most of the traumatic injuries. So, according to Sri Lankan Spinal Cord Network Association, they have counted that approximately 1,500 people are annually acquired due to spinal cord injuries. So, you might be thinking why this is among three-wheeler drivers. So, according to Transport and Civil Aviation in 2014, they have counted about 929,495 three-wheelers registered in 2014. When that is comparing with the registered number of ambulance services in Sri Lanka, it is just about nearly 3,000. So, it shows the comparison between these two, which shows you that is the three-wheelers are the most common available in Sri Lanka. So because most of the time these ambulance services are taking patients from one government hospital with another government hospital, where they are most of the time they are not caring about the private calls, even though they have care about those private calls for a traumatic condition. Most of the time these three-wheelers are the ones who are taking these patients to the hospital. So why it is so important to know about first aid practices among these responders? Because they are the ones who are most of the time responding for these kind of injuries. So if we can strengthen their first aid practices, we can improve the pre-hospitalization care. So according to World Health Organization, they have counted that most of the fatal injuries are due to respiratory failures, respiratory compromising, and also due to bleeding and spinal injuries. And these respiratory compromising, respiratory failure and the bleeding can be readily reduced by using basic first aid measures. So if we can strengthen these first responders about the pre-hospitalization care, including the communication, their transportation methods and also the treatments, we can improve the quality of life in each. It's basically to save a life. So I did this research in Western Province in Gampaha district in Sri Lanka. So my specific objectives were to identify their assessment regarding the knowledge and the practices, and I used a cross-sectional quantitative study using a descriptive study design by using 150 of three-wheeler drivers who are ages between 20 to 65 years, and I collected my data by using an integrated administered questionnaire. So including my background about the results, my age groups were between 20 to 65 years. So I asked about them, have you ever had a first aid practices in their lifetime? So about 46% said that they had first aid practices as a primary first aid practice in their lifetime at the school time. So 54% haven't had any sort of a first aid practice in their lifetime. Then I asked about, have you ever transported an injured person in their lifetime, which accounts about 74% had transported an injured person in their lifetime. So within this 74%, about 39% have transported more than 5 injured persons in their lifetime, which is between 5 to 10 accidents. So then I asked about what were the transferring methods that you have used to transfer these patients. So most of the people responded that they used 52% about the method of cradle, and the other transferring modes were at a low level. And then I asked why you haven't applied any sort of first aid practices even though you have a knowledge regarding it. So most of the three-wheeler drivers were at a fear that they will be end up with a medical legal complication at the last, because at the hospital they ask if there is no bystander for that injured person, they are asking to get the responsibility for that person. So they were thinking that they will be end up with a legal problem. So that's why they haven't applied any sort of first aid practices or any help. Then I asked about the recovery position for a patient who is unconscious and who is breathing. So at that time I had given this figure to let them to identify what is the best position for a patient, and I have given this supine, the left lateral and the standing position, Where similarly, most of the people, about 71, said the supine is the recovery position, where the left lateral is the best method. That about 70 said that is the recovery position for a patient who is unconscious and who is breathing. Then I asked about how I going to suspect a spinal injury at the time. So most of the people were aware that if the patient has fallen from a height, or if the patient is old, or if the patient is verbalizing a neck pain, or if he or she is having a neck trauma or a trauma to back, that could be a suspected clinical feature of a spinal injury. But fewer were known that tingling sensation, facial trauma, or weaknesses, the limb weaknesses are signs and symptoms of spinal injury suspicion. Then I asked about what are you going to do the next time if you suspect a spinal injury. So most of the people have identified by using a stretcher they can minimize the spinal injury. Even though they have identified the best method, they haven't identified the best transferring method, which was the log rolling method. So it was identified only by 7%. And also the stabilizing head also should be there. That was also identified about 32%. And I was happy that most of the people haven't identified paddle as the best method to transfer a patient who is spinally injured. Then I asked about if you have seen any heavy bleeding, what are you going to do at the next time? So most of the people responded, about 71%, that they are trying to stop the bleeding rather than they are taking that patient in the hospital at the first attempt. So even though they have identified the best method to transport this best method to that they are trying to stop the bleeding, they haven't identified the best method to prevent bleeding, which is by applying a direct pressure. So most of the people were responded that they are using a tourniquet and they are placing ice on the side to prevent bleeding and also elevating side. So the best method was not very much identified. And I asked about the confidence level about the pulse assessment. So about 61 had the good confident about the pulse assessing, where 60 had didn't know how to assess the pulse. Then I asked if you have seen a fracture for a patient, so what are you going to prevent further damage? Most of the people have identified that they are using a splinting to they are using a splinting to prevent the further injury, where before that we have to support the limb, so we have to immobilize the side for prevent the fracture furthermore. So it was at a low level. And at the discussion part, 74% have transported the patient in their lifetime. In contrast, in a study in India, where most common aid provided was calling an ambulance. And also 87% had a knowledge regarding the correct position for a victim who had undergone a spinal injury, and many didn't know the transferring method of a victim who has the transferring method, which was the log rolling method. It was only identified by 70%, and some of the clinical features of the spinal injuries were also not identified correctly. And 71% tried to control the bleeding, but many didn't know the correct method of bleeding control, which was the pressure applying. So 28% only identify about it. So the recommendations, what I am suggesting is, like, community-based first aid programs can be provided to increase the pre-hospitalization care, and also awareness programs can be enhance the pre-hospitalization care, and it can minimize the complication. And also we can promote three-wheelers as ambulances, where the ambulance services are not very much available in Sri Lanka. So like countries in Dubai and India, they are using this sort of ambulances called tuk-tuk ambulance. So we also can provide this sort of things in Sri Lanka as well. So I would like to thank all of the people who have helped me, and these were my references. Thank you. Finally, I would like to hear your question.